We hear about Jay-Z's behavior toward other famous people, and we begin to understand how bad this man is said to be. He's becoming a supervillain now that he's ending jobs for no reason. There were rumors that Sean Paul was having an affair with Beyoncé, which led to Jay-Z ending his career and ruining him for life. We all know that Jay-Z is very jealous, and Sean Paul says that his jealousy got out of hand, and he decided to get Sean Paul blacklisted because of it. You better get S for this because okay? So if there's one thing we know for sure about Jay-Z, it's that he's very jealous and hates it when Beyoncé hangs out with other men. There have even been rumors that he once told her she couldn't work with male artists, which is why we don't often see her perform with male artists. They may work together in the studio, but when it comes to live shows, they don't always perform together. This fits perfectly with Sean Paul's story because he said that Jay-Z got so jealous of Sean Paul's song with Beyoncé that he told Beyoncé she couldn't perform the song with Sean Paul, which caused a lot of trouble and led to Sean Paul being blacklisted. The second song from her first album by herself, Dangerously in Love, was called Baby Boy. The first track was Crazy in Love, on which she featured Jay-Z. It was a tie between the two songs for the most weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was a huge hit at the time, and everyone was crazy about the song. So many people loved the song that there were reports that Beyoncé and Sean Paul were seeing each other and having an affair without telling Jay-Z. Sean Paul has always denied this, but Jay-Z didn't care about it because he went out of his way to supposedly sabotage Sean Paul before ruining his career completely. This isn't something Sean Paul would let go of without talking about it. In a recent interview, he told this side of the story about what happened and said it was worse than you think. Even though the song was super successful and a major hit, Jay-Z only let him perform it with Beyoncé 3 times, and 2 of the 3 times Jay-Z allegedly sabotaged him. According to him, when he first found out that Beyoncé wanted to work with him, he was excited because he liked the work that she had done with Destiny's Child. He said she had a few hits with Destiny's Child and they would do the Caribbean, but we didn't really hang out. I'd always admired her music and she's beautiful, so when I heard Beyoncé was stepping out on her own and wanted me to do a single, I was like, hell, a thing. Yeah, I thought it was going to be R&B, but it ended up being Dan. Also, that made me go off. That was a banging track, man. He then went on to talk about how the song was a hit, but when it came time to perform it was a letdown for him personally and professionally. While Beyoncé's performances seemed to go smoothly, there always seemed to be some technical issues on his part. He said it was huge. It was in 9 weeks at #1 all over MTV and Betmag AEs everywhere. I had some people who were working with me for years, then they were like, boss, I'm now a fan of yours. I was like, now, but we had just 3 performances and one was at Sunfest. At the time we were both on the Rock the Mic tour. This was 2003. She wasn't on it every day, but she would come on certain dates and do the song Crazy in Love with Jay-Z. One day we left to do the video and then played some fest. That was the first time it was clear that Jay-Z hated the song. I mean, take a look at his face during this performance. He said that Jay-Z would come to play Crazy in Love after he was done with Baby Boy with Bayu. Things started to get suspicious when Sean Paul's performance would get derailed, but somehow the technical issues never affected Beyoncé's part, and then they would suddenly get fixed when it was Jay-Z's turn to hit the stage. Sean Paul said the second time was in LA and a strange thing happened, and I think that's what started the story. Strange things started to happen at the performances, which was weird. We went to LA and I did my show, and then she was performing and they told me to stick around because we'll do Baby Boy. We did it, and I run out there and the crowd goes wild, but after a while it seems like I lost their energy, and it's weird because I was going wild out there. When the song finished, I came backstage and my own band was all pissed off, like, man, that's a up, you heard yourself. We couldn't hear you in a crowd, your mic was off. I was like, how the F did that happen? To put into perspective just how influential Jay-Z was, he somehow managed to mess things up for Sean Paul during performances outside the UK, and according to Sean Paul, Jay-Z also allegedly messed things up for him during a performance in Scotland. He said, when the thing happened in Scotland, that's when we had to talk because the rumors got really crazy. I landed in Scotland and it was this MTV event and there were paparazzi everywhere. We ended up doing the rehearsal and everything was good, and the performance was going to be where I come up from under the stage, and then we both walked to a big center thing in the middle of the stadium which was surrounding by fire. That all happens and then it reaches my part. You're a top girl and the track keeps going, baby boy, you stay, just repeating. He continued. I was like, what's going on here? She was pissed and was like, I need to speak to you. So we get back and talk, and she's like, what's all these rumors about? And I'm like, yo, I'm not saying is. And she's like, these rumors F with my jaw. I just want you to know that. I was like, they don't F with mine. So listen, I met Jay-Z before you and we were friends, so me and him should talk. If he feels a way about that, then we should talk, because it's not coming from me. It's unclear why he didn't come out right there and then and tell her what her mans was doing, because it didn't seem like Beyoncé knew what was going on at this point. Sean had put 2 and 2 together and realized what was happening. Jay-Z had gotten his ego bruised over the rumors of an affair, and he had reportedly targeted Sean Paul. This was wild because everyone knows that Jay-Z has been cheating on Beyoncé since the very start, so it's ridiculous that he would get his feelings hurt over some rumors, according to Sean Paul. Jay-Z didn't like it when Sean Paul had that talk with him, and he completely forbade Beyoncé to perform with Sean Paul, even though there were already plans in place for them to perform at the VMAs that year. He said we were supposed to perform at the VMAs, and she said to me, we're going to have practices to look out the day before the VMAs happened. There's this press day where you speak to every radio station, and I'm hearing somebody practicing Baby Boy, so I'm like, what's going on? We went to the label, and they were like, wow, they're not going to do the song with you. So I'm sitting there in a crowd with my present wife, and Paris Hilton is sitting in front of me. Beyoncé is coming down the stairs singing the song, and Paris Hilton turns to me and goes, why aren't you up there? It was embarrassing and weird. He claimed that he was so hurt that he decided to get her lick back at her. He said, so the next day I was supposed to perform in Washington, D.C. and do the song with her for her father. I went there, did my show, and then waited around for a while, and I got pissed off. They were like, there are 3,000 influential people waiting out here for you to do it. And I was like, there were 50 million people watching the VMAs. I'm not doing it, and I left. He claims that this made Jay-Z furious, and he got Sean Paul blacklisted over this. This explains why Jay-Z took shots at Sean Paul in his song La La La, where he said, run it on me at the light, you will lose your life. And this was a reference to Sean Paul's hit song Give Me the Light. According to Sean Paul, Jay-Z reportedly spread fake rumors about him in the industry and leveraged his connections to force people to stop working with him. Fans noted that it's a shame that song was her hottest record on the album. Sean was huge at that time as well. They could have played it and both gained. Sean Paul was treated very unfairly because of this man's insecurities and her allowing him to control her job moves. I was wondering what happened now that we know. I remember hearing back that when Jay-Z didn't want Sean around, after overhearing her and her friends gushing over Sean, he was jealous and controlling to the point that Sean couldn't even perform the song with her at the BET Awards. Jay-Z has never beaten accusations, but I want to know how you feel about him sabotaging Sean. Paul likes this, so drop your ideas in the comments, then check out this next video.